Mexico has elected leftist candidate Andrés Manuel Lopez Obrador as its next president. The 64-year-old former mayor of Mexico City, known to many in the country as AMLO, ran unsuccessfully in the last two presidential elections. Well, officials forecast Lopez Obrador won more than half of the votes in a crowded field of candidates Sunday night. Lopez Obrador promised to end corruption and lift the nation's poor people out of poverty. Now, he gained support by rallying angry voters who turned on President Enrique Peña Nieto's governing party. Adrienne Bard is a CBS News reporter. She's been based in Mexico since 1993. She joins me now on the phone from Mexico City. Now, Adrienne, can you tell me more about the main policies of the new incoming president and his campaign, and how he plans to address the nation's biggest problems?
Well, López Obrador has had the main theme of ending corruption. That's what he ran on, and he's called now on ordinary Mexicans to behave more honestly. He hasn't said exactly how he's going to go after the crooked politicians of the past, but he has said he plans himself to have a government of austerity. For example, he won't live in the presidential palace or travel in Mexico's newly purchased presidential airplane. Poverty was another key issue for him. He said he plans to raise wages and to give government aid to the poor, to the elderly, and disabled. In fact, in his victory speech last night, one of the lines is that the poor shall be first. And he himself doesn't come from the upper class and didn't have a privileged upbringing.
His election's being characterized as a rejection of the establishment there in Mexico. But what does his win indicate about the mood of the country there?
Well, you know, Vlad, people are fed up with the violence and the corruption, but the violence has really permeated this country. And López Obrador's take on that is that if you improve the economy and bring up the lower classes, the violence will stop. People are also tired of the opulence of the ruling class and the upper classes here. And so there's kind of been a sense that the deck has been stacked against people here. And the current president, Enrique Peña Nieto's luxury home, kind of became a symbol for that. So truly, Mexico is a tale of two countries, one for the rich and one for the poor. And, you know, that's really, I think, how the people here in Mexico have spoken at this time.
Now, Obrador said he will seek a relationship of, quote, friendship and respect with the United States. So, contributor Willis Sparks spoke to my colleague Anne-Marie Green last week about what his relationship with President Trump might look like, and here's a little bit of what he said.
I don't think that AMLO wants to get into a war of words with Trump, but he is going to criticize things. Like he's criticized the immigration policy, in particular the separation of families issue. Trump's going to hear something that he doesn't like. Trump is going to insult López Obrador. López Obrador is not going to stay silent. You got to have a good relationship with Washington, but you don't want to be accused of letting President Trump walk all over you either. So there is the potential for a war of words that periodically really messes up U.S.-Mexican relations.
Now, how will their relationship affect both countries in terms of immigration and trade?
Well, you know, to some extent, it remains to be seen because these are two very strong personalities. López Obrador, although he's peace and love right now, he has in the past had a very, very strong personality. He's telling everyone that those days are over and that he doesn't want any conflict. Specifically on immigration, he did mention in his victory speech last night that his goal is that Mexicans should not need to leave their country to look for work in the United States or elsewhere. And that's a pretty lofty goal, but it also has been already the trend that migration has dropped. So we're not sure how he's going to achieve that. And directly on trade, he has said very specifically he does want to continue with NAFTA. He may put in a new team to negotiate it, but he at the same time says he wants to foment internal production in Mexico. And one of the most important products for him is corn. It's kind of a symbol. He wants Mexico to return to the days of producing everything within Mexico. And as far as Trump, well, you know, he may have met his match. We're not sure yet.
And last question, what are some of the concerns about Obrador among his critics? What are they saying? What are they worried about?
Well, there are a lot of concerns, and I would say as I was out talking with voters yesterday, even some fears. I think the first thing is the fear that López Obrador could become an authoritarian, hot-blooded, dictatorial leader, as they have been many in Latin America. But he kind of behaved that way in the past. When he lost by a narrow margin in the past, he failed to accept the legitimate president. But now, again, he's showing a new face. His campaign has showed a new face. So, hopefully he'll stick to that. There are also fears about where he's going to get the money to pay for all this aid that he has promised and that he might alienate investments. So in spite of that, he's really already extending an olive branch, as are the people from the other side. So really a lot of hope in Mexico today that things are going to turn around for this country in terms of some of the big problems that it has had in the past.
It will be interesting to watch, especially with two big personalities sharing a border. Adrienne Bard, thank you very much.
Thank you.